Welcome to the Sacred Light Collective, where we explore our experience as a multidimensional spirit in physical form, balancing being in this world but not of it. My name is Ali, your multidimensional guide, so join me as we co-create our shared experiences, conversations with spirit, all things light language, activations and energy as we remember who we truly are. Hello dear friends, and welcome back to another episode. It has been a little while since there's been an episode in play, and I thank everyone for their patience. I know that there has been a lot going on with the cosmic energies for all of us, and a lot of inner work being done and shadow work being done, and I am not excluded from that. So I have been walking the inner path for a little while and just now feeling as though I'm ready to come out of the cocoon, so to speak, feeling as though I'm in a place where I am ready to step back into creation and expression as well. And it was so interesting because I said, okay, Spirit, well, what do we start with first? And then something dropped in, just this piece of clarity for me. And then I got the nudge to bring this into a podcast episode. So I wanted to just share with you something that has landed for me, and things that I've been doing, I guess, somewhat unconsciously or subconsciously, and have, been contributing to how I've been shifting my reality and creating my reality without, my conscious awareness. And now that's come into play, it's given me more focus about consciously shifting my reality, consciously creating my reality. And I wanted to share because I feel like this is just a simple tip that you can bring in to your own life, that you can bring in to also start to be consciously creating your reality or shifting your reality. So I am someone that has always liked to move the furniture around, to get rid of pieces, like to declutter or to donate things, to throw away. Like I don't really hold on to a lot of stuff. And even as a teenager, I would remember every school holidays, I would take great pleasure in being inspired to rearrange my room and to do like a refresh and just, refresh my space and my energy. And it's something that's always continued through adulthood. And because I am a renter, so I rent my residence, I have had to move many times in the last 10 to 12 years. And so part of it I connected to was just traveling light, so to speak. But I'm well known in my circles and family for someone who doesn't necessarily hold on to things. And sometimes people would say, oh, you're just not sentimental. And it's not that. It's that I have recognized where I can hold that memory, or I've got the energy and the value out of whatever that was, and I don't need to hold on to it anymore. And I think that I understood very early on, without consciously understanding the when we're cluttered in our spaces or in our home, it's a reflection of the energy that we're holding as well. And so it was interesting because I have been sitting in some program spaces and co-creating around quantum leaping, timeline shifting, these really fabulously exciting new topics that I'm just really learning and beginning to understand how to work with the quantum energy a lot more, the quantum flow, and I guess to be able to shift and to create my reality more consciously without waiting for something to create that shift. And it was interesting because I was listening to a mentor of mine talk about the very direction from spirit that she had about doing some simple changes around the home. Like it might be to change your bedspread cover. It might be to change some cushions, some pillows. It might be to move furniture around, to change rooms and different things. And it sort of stuck with me because I was like, oh yeah, that's what I do. And so that really resonated with me because I immediately recognized how I do that, but without that conscious direction of knowing why that is happening. And so I was feeling this refresh as we've moved into April. For me, feeling a bit of a refresh after the heavy, dense start for January, March for me. And I felt inspired to make some changes and to shift some spaces around. And most particularly, my workspace was one of them. And all it was simply was changing the direction of my desk and setting up my altar in a different place. And in fact, today I felt guided to change that altar completely, to simplify it, and to just put some pieces there that were relevant to what I had just shifted through, almost like a representation of what I had shifted through. And so as I was connecting to what's here for me now to share in my expression that I'm feeling ready to begin to create externally, and Spirit was really sharing with me that ability to make those changes with the inanimate objects to assist us to really shift our reality by making those physical changes. And the power of that as well for stepping into the new, for I guess if you liken it to it, it's like a ceremony, isn't it? And perhaps considering it in that same vein of making this change in honor of shifting my reality into this direction. And they were also indicating that when you choose to perhaps take a different drive to work, take a different road, take some different turns, go about a different way. Maybe it takes you a little bit longer, but make the choice and recognize where you are actually shifting your reality in that moment. Instead of, we can get into the rut, and I know I was guilty of this for like probably over 40 years of my life, of just getting up, going through the motions, doing the same thing day in, day out, walking the same path, driving the same route, going to the same shops to buy my groceries, buying all the same brands and things, and sticking to very clear, even meal plans of like, well, these are the things that I rotate through. Like it was all very, very structured and very rigid, and there was no room for movement or change in that. And so it was like this light bulb moment of like understanding how simple it can be to begin to consciously shift your reality, to create your reality by just making some of these small changes day in, day out. And that's what I really wanted to bring forward in this episode, because I know so many of us are like me, starting to come out of that post-eclipse haze. And, I know you may still be in it, and I'm honoring that this will be a seed for you when you're ready, or you will find this when you're ready to step into this and make a shift, and perhaps inspire you to now listen to your intuition, listen to your heart, your soul, your higher self, your team in spirit, and what needs to perhaps be shifted, changed. What can you do differently in your day-to-day life? Where can you start to actually shift that into where you want to be? And this leads on also to the power of intention. And I speak of the power of intention a lot, and any clients of mine will know that I mention that at least once every session. But really the power of your intention is key. So maybe for you, it is setting this intention to be aware or open to shifting your reality. Perhaps it's something to do with your state of being. In some of the early episodes, if you've been with me for a while, I worked a lot with stepping into flow and ease, inner peace. And I would set an intention which is similar to an affirmation or a prayer, but I would just call that energy in and become that frequency at the start of every day, maybe several times during the day, depending on what was happening but it was kind of like a set and forget. It's like, yep, I'm setting this, it's there, it's done. And so for me, this really complements that idea of working with the objects in our space or our routines. Where can we shake that up a bit, and where can we make a bit of a change? Because remembering as well that if we keep doing the same things will keep occurring. Again, your energy flows where your thoughts, your intentions, your actions are. So let's start to be a little bit more consciously aware of that. Let's consciously create together. And this could be a wonderful time, whether you're coming out of that, as I said, the post-eclipse haze or your shadow work, or when you do, use that as an opportunity to start this process and to honor that and recognize that change. Because I also was listening to something recently, and I would love to know where and who said this, but I cannot remember. So I give full credit to where this came from. But we are already in our highest timeline. So I think for me, as I'm learning a little bit more about what it means to be on my highest timeline, what it means to shift timelines, or, when people talk about this, it kind of didn't really feel in arm's reach for me. I didn't really have a deeper understanding or awareness of what that felt like or looked like. And what I loved when I was listening to this person share is that the recognition that we're always on our highest timeline. And what can we do to keep anchoring ourselves, embodying that for ourselves, to become aware and to be more conscious and present in that? Because that's what it is, isn't it? It's about presence. And that's where using our intention, using conscious action in our environment will assist us to find the presence in that, to find the joy and the abundance, the prosperity, the peace. And most importantly, the flow and the ease. And acknowledging that we're always going to have those moments, aren't we? Where we are doing the inner work, we are stepping into the shadow, we're bringing more of those aspects of ourselves to the light, because that is what we're here to experience, amongst other things. So also celebrating the moment of rebirth, of renewal, of stepping over the threshold. And that has been coming through loud and strong for me. I do not do the celebration and the recognition of that well. And so that was the third piece to that little insight, aha moment with Spirit in bringing this to life, was to celebrate. So the simple fact of me changing my desk space, my energy around my workspace, around my altar and where I am, and celebrating that crossing of the threshold, celebrating the shift and the transition, the renewal and the rebirth. So I want to invite you into that as well, into the celebration, the recognition of all the moments, and some might be small. I'm celebrating myself in this moment for actually slowing down and stopping to receive that beautiful awareness and understanding of something that has been jumbling around in my head and in my field for months now. And it's so nice to feel that puzzle piece slip into place. And I love that I get to share that here with you as well, because this is an important part of the recognition and the awareness, isn't it, too? When we speak into these moments, we speak in and share our aha moments, and we get seen and held and witnessed in those too. It really helps with the embodiment, and I'm really noticing that, because that's another element that I'm working on getting better, of just allowing myself to share these moments, to bring them forward with someone so that I can be seen and witnessed and held in that, in order for me to really embody the learnings, the growth, the shift and transformation. So I hope that's given you a little bit of food for thought as well, inspired you, and perhaps like me, you're saying, oh yeah, Ali, I already do that subconsciously or unconsciously. So now let's bring some more conscious awareness to it. And let's do it too at times where we want to celebrate or we want to recognize where we've shifted or moved through something. And where can you shake up your day? Where can you start to bring the new? Maybe you start to bring some different pieces into your wardrobe. Maybe you do a wardrobe refresh, declutter. Maybe you feel like wearing a certain color or doing something different. It could be moving some furniture around the house, changing some rooms, changing the way your bed is. It could be walking a different walking path. It could be taking a different route to work. It could be shopping somewhere completely new. Don't be afraid to break it up, to start to create more of the room for space, for flow, to receive new. Because what's dropping in right now is too that this gives us the opportunity to expand our energy and to expand our field, and so to make new connections, to receive new opportunities. To be able to maybe come across something that we wouldn't have seen before. Because we're being guided in every moment. But if we're not present in the moment, we tend to miss it, or we will miss it. So slowing down, having those moments of space and stillness, and mixing up the routine. I really feel some light codes sitting here waiting to be shared, almost like, stop talking, Ali, so we can bring this through. So I just want to bring through some quantum light codes to assist you with this, to assist you with creating and shifting your own reality. So if you're open to receiving, just say yes or nod your head in consent. Breathe and soften the body, soften the heart, soften your field, and just allow yourself to receive. Hando tere sato tere shakute to tere tato kantodro semokatai satore sandre shakoto latodro shumatatai sandre sadro shandra la potatatai samokateteki ishalala kolakatore someteteki roku yamaka entodra. Opening your heart, almost seeing like a sphere, a gold sphere, and letting that open through the heart center, letting it expand. Letting it expand. Kotataki ishamokati sototoro ishamake anatodro isamokatai no tere. Gatodre sambokati sotoro shamakati sandaraki sholakadre andok uyana. Antodre samokadi santoro shamadere ku ulukola kemo tadie shalakudre to urakal namakadero kendadrai. Tatori samokati shamokatate sotre shonra kedreana. And see that beautiful golden orb of light expanding out of the chest 360 degrees and expanding out into your field around you. Taking up space in your field of sovereignty, your aura, that beautiful bubble around you. Gatoteki iruko uyamuka isanda tatairu kemuka isato to ushomoyata teki iruyana. Latodreki shalorko matareki ruko yamaka isanda rayeto goyana. I am creating my own reality. I am walking my highest, most abundant timeline. I am prosperous and abundant. I am all that I am. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. And taking a deep breath in as we seal that with the infinity symbol through your energetic field, your field of sovereignty. And declaring it to be so. deep breath in, and as you expand on the exhale, feel this sense of flow of ease, lightness, as you now take the reins on creating your reality, shifting your reality. And you may want to sit with that for a little while, and you may even want to journal. You may even want to connect in with what you're feeling as to what's the first step. What can you do in this moment? What needs to change? What's ready to change? Where can that freshness, that newness come into your day-to-day? I'm so deeply grateful to be able to share this space with you. And as always, the light, the love, the divinity within me honors the light, the love, the divinity within you. Namaste. Until next time, much love.